I'm Trent Ayers, and today I'm going to talk to you about the golf swing. The golf swing is made up of 5 crucial stages that allow one to hit the ball solid and straight. Have you ever sat and watched a tournament live or on TV? Ever thought to yourself, wow, that looks easy? You think I could do that? And then you go to the course and try it for yourself and find out you were sorely mistaken. Today I'll explain the 5 key stages of the swing and how if you execute these 5 stages, you can also hit shots like pros on TV. First key part of the golf swing is the setup. The setup is one of, if not the most important stage in the golf swing. Ron Krupitsky, author of the article Smash It, published in June of 2017 edition of Golf Digest and Teaching Pro, said, "Don't take the address position for granted. I'll often look at my swing on video and notice that my body alignment is out of whack. Without a proper setup, you cannot execute a good golf shot consistently." All-time great Jack Nicklaus once said golf is 10% physical, 10% mental, 80% setup. In essence, Nicklaus was just saying if you set up to the ball the right way, everything else falls into place. Makes the game a lot easier and a lot more fun. The setup starts with the grip. The club must be gripped as if you were holding a baby bird in your hands. Too tight and you squeeze the bird and you kill it. Too loose, the bird can fly away. So it's got to be about a 4 out of 10 for your grip pressure. For the right-handed golfer, the left hand must go on the club first and must be gripped from within the fingers. All 4 fingers need to diagonally wrap around the club with the thumb halfway down the grip. The right palm must go over the left hand's thumb, and then the rest of the right hand folds over the grip. The 3 fingers minus the pinky will wrap around the other side of the grip and will face opposite of the left hand fingers. So it kind of looks like this. Your left hand, the thumb halfway down the grip, fingers at a diagonal position on the backside. You take the right hand over the thumb, roll it over, and then you can notice that the pinky, I use an overlapping grip. You also can use an interlocking, or you can do a baseball grip. It's personal preference, they all 3 work. It's more about what feels good to you. After the hands are wrapped around the club, your index finger and your thumb should create a V when you set the club down. So you see that V right there, and then the V between my thumb and my index finger and my right hand. Those V's should point to your right shoulder at address. The next important thing to talk about in the setup is your posture. It's important to recognize golf as a sport, and just like most sports, you must be in an athletic stance/posture. The book Sports Illustrated Golf, Play Like a Pro, published in 1988, author Mark Mulvoy said, "It is impossible to play golf, or any other sport for that matter, if you approach the swing in a tense, rigid manner." So you need to be loose, you need to be in an athletic position to really make a good swing. Correct posture is all about keeping a straight spine throughout the whole swing. This will make you make better contact and will also prevent you from having injuries down the road. Another thing about the setup is you want your feet about shoulder length apart, and this is how you get in the perfect setup. You have your shoulder length apart, your grip, your hands hang down naturally. So it's not reaching, it's not in like this, they're just in a natural position. And then all you do is bend at the hips, and then you bend your knees about 15% of what you have in your knees. That right there is going to get you in an athletic position where you can attack the ball. If you're wondering about how do you know if the club's too far away from you, this part of the club, the butt of the club, should point to your belt, and you should be able to go 2 hand lengths away from your belt, and that's the right amount of distance from the ball. Last part is your head in the position of the setup. Your head is important because it must remain behind the ball. If the ball's right here, I don't want my head this way. I don't want it right there. I want it slightly behind the ball because that's going to keep everything behind the ball until you make impact, and it's going to make you hit way more farther shots and way more straighter shots. It is important for the head to remain still as possible throughout the swing. Mark Mulvoy explains in the '88 book Sports Illustrated Golf, Play Like a Pro, the head moves, everything else moves. And once things start to move during the swing, the ball will move in some direction other than the one you want it to. Now that you know how to properly set up to the ball, we will talk about the second stage of the swing, which is the takeaway. The takeaway is when the club and the arms are pulled away from the ball. Without moving your head, without moving your hips, you're just going to simply, you already got your setup position. All I'm doing is taking my left hand and left arm and moving them back this way, away from the ball. The club head should point, it should be parallel to the ground like this, and it should be probably in the middle of the lines of your feet. So like right here would be a good takeaway. I'm not swaying, I'm not doing anything. I'm in a position to where I'm just letting the club start to do the work. So after the takeaway comes the backswing. The backswing is pretty simple because all you're doing is basically if you execute a proper takeaway, your backswing is going to be straight. What we talked about right here where the club's parallel to the ground, all I'm doing from there is rotating my shoulders till my left shoulder reaches under my chin. Right there, I'm at a position at the top to start the downswing, which is the fourth stage of the golf swing. And the downswing's pretty easy too. All you're doing is letting gravity take its course. So once you're up here, gravity's going to make the club drop down. The downswing is very simple. All one do is let the gravity do the work. According to Sean Humphreys, author of 2 Steps for a Perfect Swing, published in 2004, he said, allowing the club to fall down the same path line is like allowing nature, specifically gravity, to take its course. So you're not forcing anything. Once you get to that position, you're good to go. All right, so the last stage after, the next stage after the backswing and the downswing is the fifth and final stage, which is the finish. The finish should tell you if you've hit a shot correctly or not, just by the way you finish. The finish should be balanced, and you should be able to stand in a finished position for an extended amount of time. Gary McCord, pro golfer / commentator, explains how to finish your swing in his book, Golf for Dummies. He says, swing through the impact area all the way to keep the finish on line. He said, keep your left leg straight, and your right knee should kind of act like it's going to touch your left knee. So when I finish, I'm here, my belt's facing the target line, the club is going to wrap around my head, and my right knee is going to go inward, but my left leg's just going to stay straight. So today I talked to you about the 5 stages of the swing. We talked about the setup and how it's probably one of the most important stages because if you don't set up right, you can't hit a good shot. Talked about the takeaway and how you should keep your head and your body still when taking the club away from the ball. Also, I discussed the backswing and the downswing and how remaining stable through both is important. Last, we talked about the finish and how the finish tells you if you hit a good shot or not. So now I've taught you the 5 stages of the swing. So it's time for you to grab a club, go and try to master the correct swing, and most importantly, have fun playing this beautiful game. I believe you are now on the road to acquiring a good golf swing. Good luck and hit them straight. Thank you.